Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I have an excellent game to share with you from the 2025 London Chess Classic. This was played today, November 28th, on the white end, Praggnanandhaa, playing against Eldar Gasanov. Alright, this was a round 2 game from the FIDE Open section. We have a Queen's Gambit declined, exchange, Bishop G5, positional variation. This does not mean it will be positional throughout. A very direct tactical finish to this one. Let's get a few more healthy moves in. Opening phase, King Knight going to E2, not its favorite square F3. F-pawn unobstructed here. Plan for white is this central break F3, E4. Both sides with knights connected. Same sides castles. Game Queen C2, bishop questioned. From here, C6 is played. Now, if black goes 2 with this pawn, it's not really a good idea to take on this isolated pawn position. There isn't something that black can point to in white's position and say you are weak there. This is a very healthy structure for white. Just a single step in this game, we have C6, A4. Why is A4 maybe played here? You have this king knight on E2. Why not go straight for this central break, F3, E4? Well, first of all, white with A4 has not forgotten about this idea. Here's one way to look at it. White is remaining solid for one more move structurally on the king side and center and asking black a simple question. How far are you going to let my a-pawn go? Is it going to be allowed to go to a5 and be invasive, maybe another step and break down c6? Black says, you have gone far enough. And in the process, clamps down on a weakness behind a4. b4 is now a hole. Only after first including the a-pawn advances does white now go for f3. So white is claiming that he's benefiting in some way by including these two moves. He must be saying that much because he has created a weakness on b4. Where does this maybe show up a benefit to white by including these a-pawn advances? Well, let's see. If white tries f3 without the a-pawn advances, so this position here, this next move I put on is not necessarily best, but I'm going to put it on anyway to demonstrate a structural shift. If c5 is played here, first note, b5 is not a hole. a7 pawn still around to control it. There are a couple minors that can quickly occupy that square, but it is not a hole. This is significant. With the a-pawns first included, and only now f3, black better think twice about responding to f3 with c5. In the game, we have knight e6. If c5 here, b5 is a hole. Significant. Rook a to d1 is strong here. If black is for some reason thinking about c4, in this position pointing to, hey, I have a queenside majority, 3-2. We can do better than that. This is a case of an unhealthy majority for black. How are you ever getting in b5 with the hole on b5? Okay, there is a benefit to white by including the a-pawn advances b4, playing f3. From here, we have knight e6. From here, rook a d1 is played. The central break, you're not in a position to do that. d4 is going to fall with check. So it's rook a d1, b6. Maybe c5 is a slightly different situation. Still a hole created on b5 after c5, but black is in a spot to maybe recapture now with the pawn, play with the pawn duo. King h1 played here. Still no time. Still the same problem on d4. So king h1. Bishop b7. From here, bishop f5 is played. Yet again, not a good time to play e4 here. But for a different reason. So let me illustrate. E4 in this position, the problem would not be this D pawn is going to hang. Capturing the D pawn in black is lost. Best here is to capitalize on the weakness behind white's last move, this recapture. It says play knight G4. Now, we'll touch on that top move soon enough, but first let me illustrate why knight captures D4 is no good. It's not what I first thought. In this position, my thought was, okay, you have bishop A6 going after the bishop and queen. Winning here is bishop G3, not really the first move that comes to mind. If bishop A6, it says that this imbalance here, light square bishop, pawn, rook versus queen is playable, calls it plus 0.4. Okay. The winning way is with bishop G3. What's going on with this? White is setting up next. E5, attacking the knight, bishop check, queen ready to fall. So looking at knight H5, bishop C7, B pawn falling in some cases. The move I tested out with this line, I want to get the queen off of the same file as the rook, so I put the queen on B4. Check out this spectacular variation. Watch how quickly black's kingside collapses when this key kingside defender is flushed away. So let's say it hops to the center here. Yep, a bolt out of the blue with rook captures F7. And from here, it's looking at this battery. The king is going to get flushed out. This is winning for white. Okay. What would be good for black? Again, this central advance is still not good for white because knight G4 would be top. It's calling for bishop F2 here, in exchange of knight for dark square bishop, and only then knight captures D4. If you capture the bishop in this position, black is winning. There's a massive fork nearby on E3. And there's also the idea to play queen H4, connecting really well with the knight on H2 and F2. Okay, the timing is still not right for E4. In this game, we have bishop F5, direct defense of the D pawn, and some coverage over any knight G4 jumps. Pop quiz, how would you respond here? Pause the video if you'd like. Okay, in the game, knight G5 is played and black is pretty much lost after this. A better move is knight H5. Now, I'll be touching on this knight H5 move soon enough, but let's just see how these next few play out in the game. We have knight G5, E4 break finally there. G6. Pop quiz, what is your move? Pause the video if you'd like. Okay, we have a piece sacrifice on G6, followed by a nice double attack, knight hit, pawn hit, queen ready to pounce. It's going to be way too strong if allowed to get to G6. This is a winning path for white. Now, what would have been better than knight G5 is knight H5. With this line I'm mapping out, it's really highlighting a difference between these two posts for the knight. It's calling for the dark square bishops to be preserved. And after E4, G6 is fine. G6 is top. It's looking at this exchange on E6 from here. Note, there is no sacrifice on G6. The follow-up E5 idea carries only one threat. There is no knight on F6 here. It's looking at this move, allow the pawn to fall, offer a queen exchange. Black is winning there. Okay, in this game, we do not see knight H5. It's knight G5, E4, G6, sacrifice on G6, E5. Follow-up, black covers G6, king F7. White not interested in picking up the knight, laser focused on getting the queen to G6. knight f4. It's covered with rook g8. At the same time, this piece demoted. Not on a half-open file. Only after demoting the rook do we now regain the material. Pawn captures knight. Bishop captures pawn. Another pop quiz. What is your move? Pause the video if you'd like. Okay, very flashy follow-up here. We have knight e4. Wow. This is beautiful play right here. I love this move, knight e4. First of all, what's happening if the knight is captured? Let's see. Let's test out the knight capture first. Okay, in this case, you're taking with a pawn and a new piece, maybe call it 2 rooks, are now invited into the attack. There's a problem here for black on the f-file. Winning a piece like this is a big problem after the capture on d5, opening up the queen's eyes to g6, multiple knight moves here that are going to be devastating, landing a check there, discovered check. I played out a few moves here with queen d6, take on g6. You're ready to take the bishop next. If you preserve the bishop, there's a knight check. You don't survive that. White is attacking with all pieces there. King completely exposed. Okay. We do not see knight captures knight. Also, if pawn captures knight, same story. The rook is activated here, and it's a very big problem. Big center. And all pieces, really, in on this attack. Nearby e5. What do you do about this? If you move the king off of the f-file, that's a problem. You remove the knight, the lone defender of e6, and that one is going to definitely hurt. So there's no surviving these complications. This is a wonderful offer of a piece. Black does not take it here. Plays bishop e7, knight f2, bishop d6, 2 things happening, knight under fire, knight now in a pin. Knight 4 to d3, out of the line of fire. Also, white's ready to now take advantage of the pinned knight. f4 lurking, knight unpinned, f4, knight e6. From here you could hop right in to e5 and then play along this f-file, but white's approach, I want a knight to be on e5. Knight g5. Deadly fork nearby with the knight getting into that square. King g7, bishop f6 check, king h7, f5. Absolutely crushing play here by white. Follow-up is knight f8. If pawn captures pawn, this is now a hole. Knight d to e3 is there, hitting the queen. This is completely busted. Queen ready to pounce on f5. Okay. Black hits the retreat button. Knight f8. Bishop e5. Every move here carrying some deadly threat. Knight f6. Ready to now land. Bishop back to e7. Pawn takes pawn check. F-file now completely opened. Rook captures pawn. Rook f7 check. King g8. Final pop quiz. What is your move? Pause the video if you'd like. Okay, move 32. Knight captures h6 check, and black resigns. If the game continued, there's only one legal move to take the knight, and we would have now a little windmill action with rook g7 check, king h8, and simplest for a human is to collect the bishop, say discovered check, and pick the queen up next. Completely winning there for white. Computer is calling this a mate in 10, kicking off with the queen going to one of these 2 squares. Okay, but with this line, you're swiping the bishop and then the queen, and this is completely winning. So what a game. Very high-level play here by Praggnanandhaa. Started out positional, but what a finish we had to this one. Anyhow, your thoughts with this one, feel free as usual to leave any feedback to this video in the comments section below. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.